weeks ago, this was simple. Fred Richard against Asher Hong, the reigning all-around champion against the reigning U.S. all-around champion. In Phoenix, August 8th, winner takes the reins of the all-around champion. But then the entry list came out. Asher Hong is not competing. I'm not quite sure the reason why, but we'll get into this a little later in the show. Brody Malone, the two-time reigning world champion on high bar, he's not on the roster as well. We just found out this past week, Donnell Whittenburg, the reigning world all-around champion on the rings, the first American to win a gold medal at a world championship event on rings, he tore his bicep. He's not competing at U.S. championships. 60 men qualified to this meet. To my recollection, this is the largest men's field that registered for a U.S. championship. And here's what everyone is tuning in this week needs to understand. On the men's side, this meet U.S. championships, at the end of day 2, they will be choosing the world team. And on the women's side, 60% of their scores from day 1 and day 2 count. But they will have a world team selection camp in Crossville, Tennessee. Wow. I'm Mubarak Simmons. This is Back to Basics, and this is our only preview show that we're going to have for the Xfinity U.S. Championships. So we're doing it all. We're talking about the men. We're talking about the women, the juniors, the seniors, what it takes to make that world team. And I am joined by Justin James, Mr. Texas himself. A guy that knows the pipeline better than anyone in the country. He's here to share his expertise today. Some quick housekeeping before we get started. We are recording this show on August 1st. So the last update of the entry was July 27th. So anything happening after this show,
Can you talk to the other guy?
We'll keep you posted.
All right, man.
All right, Justin, welcome to the show, man. How you doing? Welcome back.
Another great introduction. I got to keep coming on just to see what you're going to pull out of the hat to hype me up, man. You're my hype guy, bro.
Yo, I am, Yul Moldauer is the hype man for Team USA, right? But for GymnasticsVille, I'm the hype man here. So I'm trying to get it going. And as we talked a little bit about before this show started, this is actually my first preview show for U.S. Championships in a very, very long time. So I'm switching it up. The audience, the fans, y'all gonna hear what I think. Because lately I've been a host and I've been asking these amazing guests we've had on over the last few months. But today you're going to hear what Mubarak thinks. You're going to hear what Justin James thinks. Justin, you ready for the show?
Yes, sir, man. I'm always ready, dude.
All
It'll
right.
be an exciting week. We got, I'm here hosting a camp here at my school, and these kids are excited of kind of a Region 3 camp. They're excited for this process of what some of these guys are trying to make national team, came through some of these camps. And so it's really exciting to look at next week and talk about what might be going down, making some guys hitting sets and making their dreams come true and make national team and world team for that matter.
Yeah. So right off the bat, I want to get your reaction. No Brody, no Asher, no Don. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, such is the sport. It's a little disappointing to not have some of those heavy hitters in the rotation. Obviously, Donnell's I've been rooting for that guy, for a long time. Basically since I've stopped competing, and he's been looking so good. So that was some sad news to see that he's got a little injury and he's pulled out. But kind of like you alluded to at the beginning, man, it was really cool to see Asher versus Frederick, but it's got to be official. Like Asher's not going to be in the list, right?
As of today, August 1st, I went on the USAG website. I looked for the athletes. Asher is not on there. So I haven't
Yeah.
heard really anything about if he's hurt, what's going on. Have you heard anything about Asher? This
No.
is the first time you've heard of it.
Yeah. Same thing here. I was looking forward to that, but he's obviously a Texas guy, so I've judged him a lot growing up and been rooting for him, and can't not love Fred. So man, it's going to be good to see those guys go head to head, hopefully in full force. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on with Asher. But yeah, not on the list. And I mean, I'd really like to see Donnell, but hey, man, I hope he can bounce back and do what he needs to do so he can be, in the mix coming up soon enough.
Yep. And this goes to show you this sport is tough. This sport is tough. Obviously, this is not ideal. I mean, Asher, Donnell just winning gold, so he's not gonna have opportunity to potentially make a world team to defend his ring title. It's definitely a blower. I've been watching the videos of him rehabbing. I'm sure he's gonna attack this rehab process just as he did when he tore his Achilles in the GOAT tour right after the last Olympics. So I think he's gonna be able to come back and come back strong. It reminds me of the time. And I think Donnell has a little bit more time, but remember back in the day when Blaine Wilson tore his bicep and still came back to make that team? I think it was the 4 team. I think he toured in 2023 and then competed in 2004. Does that sound accurate, Justin?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think so.
Yeah. So we've seen athletes, and Blaine was a ring guy. Whittenburg's a ring guy. So we have seen in the past that they are able to come back from this. But the next thing I want to talk about, okay, before we kind of get into your all rounders, and it's interesting that this is one of the leadoffs on today's show, but I'm kind of excited for the pommel horse matchup, Justin. And up until these last couple years, with the introduction and the fame of Stephen Nedoroscik, it feels like America really wasn't into pommel horse. I mean, we've had pommel horse specialists growing up. We had the Mark Sones, we had the Daniel Ribeiros, we had the Artemovs. So we had some really good pommel horse guys. But lately, it seems like pommel horse is a hot topic in men's gymnastics. And so right now, Stephen is coming back from an injury. Okay. We have Patty Hoops that just won a medal at Worlds from Air Force. All right. And then we have Brandon Dang, who just won the NCAA pommel horse champion from Illinois. What is your thoughts right now with this pommel horse battle, need I say, for
I
U.S.
mean,
championships?
I thought about that a lot too. Like, I mean, pommels was not my favorite event to work, and then that's kind of what has happened in America. But we're just not good at it. But all of a sudden, what the heck? It's exciting. And it's like, man, I can't wait to watch horse. And obviously at the Olympics, they did that crazy countdown to Stephen. And then, I mean, that was the moment. It was awesome. But what I loved, you touched on 2 of those guys. You didn't specifically touch on Stephen being at Penn State, but you talked about Hoops at Air Force. You talked about Brandon Dang at Illinois. All of those guys are coming out of the college program. And what do you need in college? You need guys that hit every single event.
That's
and
right.
Maybe that's the secret sauce to pommel horse, man. Like, college is like, all right, man, sometimes you come in and, Steven's a longer, thinner body. Maybe he's not doing rings so much. Maybe he's not tumbling. Hey, dude, it doesn't matter. Put all your effort into pommel horse because we need you to hit when we need it for the team, for Penn State, for USA. And he goes on and does that. I think that might be where the magic is. And there's definitely some great guys at those universities specifically, and even others that know pommel horse and are working really hard we're just talking about these 3 guys. There's 4 or 5 other guys, I'm sure, or the next guys that are trying to beat in these 3 guys talks that are at universities right now that are stepping their game up. We're here to fight pommel horse, not just on the USA level. We're glad to have those guys on our level, but they're representing on the international level too. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And part of this preview, Justin, all right, we have to make some bold statements here. So, out of these 3 guys, okay, Stephen Nedoroscik, you mentioned from Penn State, training at EVO right now, Patty Hoops from Air Force, Brandon Dang from Illinois. Who you got? Who at the end of day 2, a combined 2-day score on pommel horse, who is going to be the 2026 pommel horse champion? Who you got?
I mean, I don't know. It's tough, but I might lean on Brandon Dang. I mean, the other guys have a little more experience at some bigger levels. And so are they going to come through because of that experience? Or are we going to have like kind of a new guy taking down some David and Goliath situations as far as pommel horse goes in the U.S. right now? I think he's capable, but it's going to be tough. I think it's unfortunately, I hope they all hit,
Yeah,
but
well, obviously, I think that makes the competition that much
yes,
better when they all
yes.
hit, right?
So
But if they all
unfortunately,
hit, who
yeah,
you got?
if they all hit, it's really really tough, and it's hard to say to not go for Stephen. I don't know. Do you know their start values or their what they're planning? Do you have any of that? I'm not sure. Who on paper looks like they're ahead? I think they're all close, but it's probably going to come down to hopefully we don't have any falls, but just some minor adjustments or some break in connections or changing difficulty values or something in flop sequences. Is probably I mean, if we have everyone hitting, it's going to be the most exciting event to watch, no doubt about it.
Yeah. No, I agree. And here's the thing. I think from a mental standpoint, this may be one of the most stressful, pressure-filled moments for these pommel horse guys. Because before, I feel like when it was just Steven, okay, he knew he could win pommel horse with the fall. That's how
Yeah.
much better he was than the rest of the field. In fact, I think even last quad, I think he did win pommel horse with the fall, at least, on one of those days. Now, you have all 3 of these guys. If any of them falls, the other one's going to win. Right? So it's a little bit more pressure, but I'm going to go with Patty Hoops. And the reason why I'm going to go with Patty is because I just feel like he's been waiting for this moment to overtake Steven. You know what I'm saying? Like, this says something for someone that's been kind of waiting in the background, waiting for this moment. Obviously, Steven's been hurt. With Steven's injury, Patty came up, made the world team, won a medal. I just feel like, obviously, Steven's the favorite. Would you say Steven's the favorite?
I don't know what they're planning in their start values, but just because of his aura, what the little kids are saying these days, I mean, he would be the guy that has the most positive energy looking at him, and hopefully he's feeling that confidence as a result. So yeah, I would say Steven's a favorite.
Yeah, exactly. So I just feel like Patty's the underdog. I feel like he's been playing the underdog role now for 3 or 4 years. I think he's ready to take him. I think Patty's going to come back. He's going to be the 2026 national champion on pommel horse. You can book that.
All right, I'm definitely a fan of that pick. That's kind of why I went with Brandon, because he's a little more of the underdog, and just if that guy fights hard, those other guys are going to fight hard. I mean, it's not just going to be handed out like you're saying when Steven was just that far ahead by difficulty. Like, everybody has a chance here, and it's going to come down to minor mistakes. But I hope it comes down to 0.00003 based on who hit the. I mean, everybody hits. But I think you're right. That's a really cool storyline if Patty Hoops and his coaches over there, I know, are awesome coaches in general, great at pommel horse, and I hope they're really helping him, kind of be mentally prepared for that potential moment of what you're saying, which is huge momentum to overtake, the guy that not just the gymnastics world had their eyes on to hit a pommel set at the last Olympics, but the whole world was watching.
Everybody.
Man.
Everybody. Yeah, I mean, I think that was, obviously Team USA we were in contention to win a medal, but that was the storyline, right? Because it was the last event and that counter,
Yeah. I mean,
that was great. Like I said, that was great cinematography. That was great storylines. Good job, NBC, for really figuring that out. Very creative with the whole time clock with Steven going. But now let's talk about the favorites, right? The favorites to win the all around now. Okay. there's a bunch of guys in the mix. All right. We got Fred. What can we say about Fred? You know,
I
he
mean,
won.
what?
What can we say about him? Okay, he's
Yeah.
NCAA champion. He has upgraded his routines. He's hungry. He won Winter Cup. So we got Fred in contention. Okay, we can't count out Yule. This has been a hell of a comeback for him this year. He's been on a tear since he's come back from Winter Cup, American Cup, Pan American Championships. He's looking really good. Shane Wiskus, as you mentioned the last show I had you on, he just dominated at the qualifier, went on a tear, so he's in it. And then you have the other Stanford, okay? Taylor Burkhart, he's pretty good. Stephen, one of these Palmore guys are going to make it, right?
Yeah. You'd
One of
think
these
so.
guys,
Yeah.
Brandon, Steven, or Patty, one of these guys is going to make it. And you can't count out Riley Los, Colt Walker, Donnell Leykin from EVO, and then Cameron Nelson from EVO. So those seems like those are the guys that are in contention to make this world team. But who do you like in the all around?
I mean, I think it's gonna be Fred. I think he's gonna be a little bit ahead difficulty wise, but if he doesn't have a good day, I mean, you know, I'm rooting for Yule. I think he can be right in there for sure. But you can't count out Shane. I mean, and then some of these other guys you mentioned, you know, like they could pop in there. You know, they're kind of they've been around, but not quite on the, you know, the top end. And so I mean, I just got to go with Fred. I think he's going to do it. I think he has awesome goals. Not and you know, I love how he talks about his goals or they're definitely he has his own goals, but he's like bringing the team along and raising the USA level and like it's all about the team too. That's kind of motivating his goals and I think he's just gonna be a great leader for us. I hope he stays healthy all the way through the Olympics and you know we can build a great team around him. But I think Yule and Shane are going to be close especially if they're looking how they've been looking. I think they're have some good positive momentum on their side and obviously very seasoned guys. And then, I mean, another guy, I think you didn't throw him out there. Another Texas boy that's kind of starting to come up, Jun Iwai. So
Ooh,
he
okay.
could.
Talk to me about this Texas boy.
Hey man,
Talk to
this
me.
kid is. You know, his dad's highly involved, highly successful. Used to coach at Oklahoma. Actually, just got the job out, moving from here, Texas, to Pacific Rain, which is a premier women's program.
So are they
And
starting
now
a men's program there, or is he coaching the women?
he's the guy who's going to make a premier men's program there. So he's an amazing coach. You know him, but June, it's been fun watching him. I've been able to judge him most of his career growing up out here, and hasn't always had as he got into the years, the optional years, hasn't always had the most difficulty. But like man, those guys at Texas Dreams where they've been training, so clean. It's kind of like what we do in high school, and in college, just what you need with zero deductions, you know. And that's how June always was. But then all of a sudden, when he got to be like 14, 15 and started to get a little stronger, skills were just stacking on that, just stacking skills. And he just came out. It's like, holy cow, this guy is like really doing real stuff. So, you know, it's cool to see him get started in his college career. You know, I don't know if this is the year that he's going to kind of become more on the scene, but I believe he's going to definitely be in the mix for the next few years for Worlds and maybe the next Olympics. But I mean, maybe he'll be ready to go 2028. You know, we'll just have to see.
And let's talk about that, right? Because in a 3-up 3 count situation, I'll put it this way: the rules to make the qualification to make the world team is ridiculous. I don't know if anyone's flat out is going to make it because I think you have to at least be for an automatic berth. You have to get top 3 all around and top 3 in each event. That is very, very hard. I think Fred's probably the only one on this list that could probably do it.
Yeah.
It seems like, but even him, that's a stretch. So then obviously we're looking at 3-up 3 count. and you talked about June. What events do you think he can contribute on a 3-up 3 count? Since you mentioned him as like our sleeper.
I mean, I don't really think he has a super weak event, but I would
He won
say,
vault at NCAA's. He was the co-champion. So
oh yeah, that's right. I actually forgot that, but yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, what did they do? There was something like with trading the trophy. Like, how did that work? What did they get him another one?
I would imagine they got him another one, but obviously they didn't have enough
Yeah,
on that day.
that was pretty cool.
That
That
was
was pretty
pretty
cool
funny.
story.
Yeah.
Vault obviously he's top in college. I think he's really good on floor, and I like high bar. I think those are some events that he can hang, and I mean maybe the others, but I don't think he's super weak anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So
I don't. I mean, I don't know if this is his time, but I know he's. I mean, it's been impressive to watch him really start to develop the last 4 or 5 years, and obviously comes from great stock, and then just coaching, just program the program that they Nori's been running with Daniel out at Texas Dreams. I mean, those guys are doing an awesome job with all their kids. I think they sent like 10 kids to college this year. Like
yeah,
it's like half the kids in college for guys.
seriously. Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, man. Well, I mean, June, keep an eye on him, whether it's this year or not. He's coming up, man.
Yeah. I mean, so what are your thoughts on I've been so used to in previous years that in order to make the world team, there's been this world team selection camp, right? Last year and this year, they're picking the team after day 2. So there is no world team selection camp. What are your thoughts on that? On just picking it right afterwards versus the world team selection camp? Which one do you favor?
I, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think that they run all these scenarios, and they do all that kind of before the meets happen anyway. So what's the point in you might already have your kind of decision made if you're going to select some guys, or the math has the decision made before the meet happens sometimes. I mean, or for sure after the meet happens, right? I mean, but so you know, I guess I don't want is it false hope to like give a guys a camp and then like 3 of these guys aren't even going, like it's like no matter what they do, and then you're taking a week out of their schedule to have them train for this goal that they're not really doing, but of course they're not going to say no. I mean, I guess I like them meshing and doing all that, but they're gonna kind of do that once they make the team. They'll come together and train a little bit before they leave. So I mean, I do like the coming together part, but I also like, hey man, let's let's announce it at the meet. Let's give these guys their credit right there on the floor after they finish doing what they were supposed to do, and let the guys know right then and there. So I think I'm interested to see how this one goes. I think I prefer this announcement.
No, you know what? I agree. And after I was giving it some thought because I've seen both aspects. I've seen guys that haven't done as great at U.S. championships and then go to the World Team Selection Camp at the Olympic Training Center and kill it and kind of bump a spot someone. But I do feel, at least from like a performance aspect of it, it puts more of the emphasis on U.S. championships, performing in front of people versus the World Team Selection Camp. There's not really many spectators there. So I do like that the emphasis is more that we want to see what you can do with the lights on the brightest. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, it's obviously more pressure, and they're rewarding the guys that are doing the best at the time when the lights are on, cameras are on, it's being seen well worldwide. So I kind of like that aspect of it. So you
yeah,
earned your spot because you competed at that time the best in everyone else.
yeah. I like that aspect of it too, for sure. I mean, we don't need you to be the best guy in the gym in training time. We need you to be Stephen Nedoroscik when it's Stephen Nedoroscik's turn. Okay, at the games. That's what we need, and so it does definitely force the emphasis to be on hitting at the meet, which is what we're going to want them to do when they go to Worlds. So I do like that. And then it also takes a little bit of the judgment out of, biases or just opinions and people like, oh, well, I think this guy could actually do better than he did on horse and then, or whatever. And then we're at the training camp. Oh yeah, he did better. But then it's kind of taking out guys that, hey, these guys hit when it counted. Why are we adjusting the lineup because this guy did better at a practice that no one saw? Like, yeah, let's reward the guys that did it when they need to. I mean, I really got into the World Cup this year. We were hosting a lot of it in Dallas, so I think that was part of me getting excited. But I mean, it's just amazing. Like, I mean, Messi did so much crazy stuff. It's like in these big moments, that's where these guys are made, and that's where the world comes to know them, and that's where their country gets on their back. And that's what we need is these guys hitting at championships and rewarded for that. And then we send them off with pride to hit at Worlds, and they come back and help us. Hey, help Kevin in the goal of getting gold at Olympics, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And I'm glad you mentioned Kevin, right? Glad you mentioned Kevin because this is a nice segue. All right. So I'm looking at the numbers, how many gymnasts each club is bringing. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
And right now, you have to, if I was wearing a hat, I'd take off my hat. But right now, man, Kevin Majika and his program, EVO Gymnastics, has 16 total athletes competing at U.S. championships, 10 senior men and 6 junior men, right? I think the next closest, that's 16. The next closest is Stanford with 9, University of Oklahoma with 6, Nebraska with 6, Michigan with 5, Illinois with 4, Ohio State with 2, and then we have Soto Gymnastics Center with 2 and Minnesota men's gymnastics with 2. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, Kevin was very bold, very brash. We know Kevin, he's a winner. He's probably the most successful men's coach on the international scene in the history. I mean, whatever he do seems like he wins medals internationally. He's got 16 guys going to championships, man. And he's a Texas guy, and you've watched him do his thing for a very, very long time. So what are your thoughts on Evo just stacking the deck for US championships?
I think it's awesome. Obviously, they were kind of a different business structured venture when they started. Everyone was kind of watching them, seeing what they're doing. But now, I mean, they are reaping the fruits, man, like of some of those early on investments and getting Kevin involved and getting Kevin helped to build the coaching staff and bringing some awesome, great people out there. Some of those guys brought some of their gymnasts that were they already well developed, and then from there it just momentum. People came in and they're developing guys that are in house there. I mean, it's just people are finishing their college career and moving out there for some more senior time. I mean, but yeah, Kevin's amazing. He's done so many projects like this along the way, and I think all of them have been successful and kind of gotten to the point where they're one of the leaders in bringing the most people to qualifiers and championships. And
I mean, even his coaching
guys,
staff. Look at his coaching staff.
I know.
Psych.
It's,
Psych. Jason Furr, Sam McCulloch. Like, he's got a Woga. What's
Sergey.
his Sergey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Come on. Damn.
Yeah. I know. I mean, it's awesome. And so I think actually, I mean, I know there's other people that are seeing this and they're like, man, maybe that's what I want to do. And they're starting to invest money. I just spoke about Nori. Like, that Pacific Rain gym is a top tier women's gym right now, and they want to do the same thing. So they're going to dump some money in, and they convinced him to move from a great job and a great program he's been at in Texas Dreams to be out there and do that. So hey, can they do the same thing? Can Nori compile a staff and develop guys and be a competitor to Evo? It's who knows. There's probably others that have been watching it. It's certainly a successful system, and I mean, 16 guys is just incredible to have. I mean, 10 seniors too is
10 seniors.
and
Man.
it's one over Stanford at 9. I'm sure Kevin like kind of watches those numbers and just makes sure he's got to beat whoever's behind.
You know
him,
it.
at least
You
one.
know it. You know it. I mean, Well, man, like I said, I think it's incredible. This field of what 60 guys. Have you come on? Okay? So you've been a judge at U.S. Championships a few times.
Well,
Is this
auxiliary judge at championships, but yes,
well?
so
What's the
like a
what's the
line judge.
what's the end of that? What is that at the end? It says judge. So like
Okay,
you were a
okay.
judge. You know what I'm
Just to,
saying?
yeah,
Like don't
yeah,
don't you know don't undercut yourself, Justin. You know your stuff, man. But is this not one of the largest men's field that you've been a part of or been observed from a distance?
yeah. I think so. I think 60 is pretty full. I mean, if that's 10 guys per rotation, I mean, I think a lot of times it's
I
six
mean,
to
they're not
eight
all doing
guys.
all around, but still, that's
Yeah,
still a large rotation.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so a lot of times 6 to 8 guys. I mean, six is almost half of that. It's 10 guys in rotation. So it's a good field, no doubt. And like you said, 16 right there from EVO. So it's a testament to these programs that are just keeping guys involved and giving them opportunities even after college. Obviously, we got most of the heavy hitters with a lot of kids are from on the senior side or from colleges, which makes sense. But EVO's, kind of it's everything. It's junior. It's got guys that are college age, and it's beyond college. If guys want to get together on, with a different group of guys that are on the same path and goal. Obviously, Yule did kind of the same thing too, man. He decided to go to a different club, go back to Oklahoma, and so he's this will be is this the first meet he's affiliated with them? But
Well, I think he was training. He got there, and then right when he got there, he was training for Pan American Championships. But this will be the first domestic competition since Yule's been back. And yeah, give me your thoughts on that, man. Yule going back, obviously, he was very successful at 5280. That was his club gym. Went to Oklahoma. Went back to 5280. He's going back to
yeah,
Oklahoma.
yeah, I think I don't know what 5280s they are listed down here with the juniors.
Yeah, they got some
So
guys.
I don't think they have a lot of seniors right now, other than Yule. I think Dallas was out there a little bit. I don't know what's going on with him, but I think it's a good thing for Yule. Obviously, him and Mark worked well together. My good friend Valery Goncharov is out there, who's Olympic champion on P bars, and I think that I don't know if Valery was even with him when he was in college, maybe 1 or 2 years, maybe the last year. But I think that's more of a new dynamic, of having him work with him. But obviously Mark overseeing it all, and that's worked well for Mark and Yule. So I think it was a great choice to kind of plug himself back in a program he's familiar, program he knows, how they do things and how the facilities work. And there's other guys there that are trying to be national team too, so they're going to help him push along. But yeah, it'll be. I mean, good. I think it was a good decision. And it's pretty cool to see. Evo's great, but it's not for everybody. We don't want everybody to be popping up there. We got other awesome coaches, so it's cool to see a guy like that has the pedigree he has and the rapport and respect. And he's like, hey, I want to go do this over here with these guys, and I think we can do it because we've already done it there.
Yeah, I mean, I think as we get closer to the Olympics, this is a big championships, and the intensity for every meet now moving forward is going to be big. And Oklahoma finished second last year at NCAA's to Stanford. That was probably their closest they were to overtaking the behemoth, the beast of Stanford. And the Oklahoma guys are hungry. And as you know, when you training and competing on the high level, you need a good training environment. And a large part of what makes that environment so successful is having hungry guys competing and having the same mindset, the same goals. And I think there's more senior elite guys training at Oklahoma to be there training with Yule so they can push each other. And let's be real, that's why EVO's working so well. EVO's working so well because it's so many high level guys training, right? When we interviewed Kevin a few months ago, he said, I went out the gym that one time and I literally, within like a couple minutes span, I saw like, don't quote me, I may be wrong, but 5 or 6 triples, right? You
Yeah,
had Cameron Nelson doing triple there. Then he looked on rings and Donnell Whittenburg was doing a triple there. And then someone else, some of the youngins saw the older guys doing the triple, and then they started doing triples. So like, that's all contagious. right? And you need that in the gym. You need someone to push you. And as great as Yule is, as great as all these guys are, you need good training partners. So I think that's what Oklahoma has. Obviously, it doesn't hurt. They have a extension to their facility, which is
Oh yeah.
amazing. At some point, I need to go visit. Have you seen the new facility yet? So I
No,
think
dude,
that's part of it too.
I still call the 10 years ago expansion the new facility that I never saw. Like I haven't been out there in a long time. So yes, I got to go see it.
Yeah. So I think the training environment's big. And if we want to live up, as a country to team gold at LA 2028, I think all these top guys need to be in great training environments where everyone is pushing everyone. And so EVO has that. I think Oklahoma has that. Stanford has that,
Yeah.
right? And
And
hey,
I think it's
Nebraska's got sick guys in the mix. So even Nebraska
dude,
has it. And you can't count
the
out Michigan
yeah,
because Fred's there.
yeah.
So we'll be interested to see if
I
he
think
stays there to train the next few years as well.
yeah, so I mean, it's also a testament to the college programs. I mean, that's what they do. They train team gymnastics, and you can't have a team with one or two guys at a different level, And that's how if you stay at your home gym, most likely you're the two or three guys maybe make it to level 10, and so people after that they get into college and then they extend their careers because they're around like more guys that are their level and their goals. And so it's the same thing with the Olympic path. But I think it's a testament to the colleges, like creating that team environment to help. I mean, it's so hard to be by yourself. It's so hard to be by yourself, and that team culture that stemming from college. That's now. I mean, EVO's not a college, but they've certainly grasped that same concept of having a bunch of guys together, and that's really important for our success at the worlds and Olympic level.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on Danila, right? Am I pronouncing his name right from
Yeah,
EVO? Leykin? Man,
yeah. That
like just
same thing.
first of
He
all,
grew up
where
in
did he
Texas.
come from? His confidence
He's been
levels up there. I mean, I think he's got a shot at making this team.
dude. Yeah, for sure. He's still kind of a young guy coming up, but he's the real deal. He's got real gymnastics in him, and he's entertaining to watch. He's like
He
a
is.
Fred on social media. Him and his mom always do some little skits and stuff, man. But same thing. He's been with Sergey out at Woga growing up, and then when Evo started, Sergey was hired to go out there. Obviously, he decided to go with him, and that was a great choice. He definitely. Some people have not heard of this guy yet, like people that are like casual gymnastics fans watching, but he's going to be a guy. Yeah, he could just stumble himself onto the world team this year. Who knows?
I
It's
mean,
happened before.
no, and you're right. And I think he made his name at American Cup was like my first being like, yo, who is this kid? That's who he is, right? But I think this is going to be like his first U.S. championships where I think there's going to be some spotlight on him. I think he's
Yeah,
going to get some airtime, some TV time, just because he made that American Cup that was broadcasted by NBC, U.S. Championship NBC. So I feel like they're going to be following his storylines. I just saw, USA Gymnastics interviewed him on X. So I think he's going to be in that narrative. But I'm excited to see what he does. And I'm excited to see his celebrations when he hits a routine as well. I mean,
yeah,
Yule's going to bring that heat. I want to see how he celebrates.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I love his gymnastics, but then he's just so happy and excited afterwards, and dude, and he's got the international lines already, like his toe point, like he's just super polished. Like he's gonna be a heavy hitter for us at some points. Just when is the time? But yeah, I mean, hey, he could have a breakout year. I mean, he's probably. I mean, I'm sure they have their plan, and maybe this is his plan to just peak this next year and just be the leader of the Olympic team next time. Who knows? I mean, he could be in it.
Well, I'll put it this way. I feel like if he really, really wants to be a true contender for that Olympic team in 2028, he's got to make one of these world teams so they can see how he
Yeah,
does on this stage, right? I think that's
yeah,
important. He's got to make one of these.
yeah. I agree. So is it this year? I mean, maybe he's going to be the dark horse, so to speak. I mean, certainly there's going to be some. I mean, yeah, he's already kind of got people noticed, so the media is going to probably do a little blurb on him, and promote him a little bit. USAG's already been doing some of that, so maybe he can use that momentum to do what he's got to do. But same thing. I mean, it's so hard to like talk about all these other guys and like who's the best. Like, I mean, it's just
It's
who
only
makes the
5
most
spots.
mistakes.
It's only 5
Yeah,
spots. And
yeah.
one of those spots is going to be a specialist.
Yeah.
One of those Palmores guys are going to be on it just because of that swing of having a Palmores guy and that Palmores lineup that could easily help your score by almost a full point if one of those specialists are in that Palmer. So one of those guys. So now you got 4 guys, and out of those 4 guys, they all going to need to be able to at least do 3 or 4 events to fill out that team score.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there's good options. I mean, they're all. I mean, I think it's gonna. I hope everybody hits and has the meat of their life, and then it's just like
makes it super hard to make.
It makes it hard.
To pick
Some
that
guys
team.
are gonna have broken hearts, but that's what we need. And you know what? Even the guys that missed out, they still did their job because they helped us provide the best team to the worlds. Like
that's right.
I mean, it's so hard to like feel like that in that moment, but in the long run, that's how they're gonna feel. They're all part of the process, man. They're all part of the process, whether they got to be there or not. And we appreciate all their efforts, and I just hope everybody has their moment where we can, cheer them when it's their moment.
All right, man. And last question before we close out. All right. And I know it's a little early, and we're going to revisit this in future shows, but this will be the first Worlds that you can, really, it's the first chance. You get 2 opportunities, really, as a team, but this will be the first opportunity that you get to qualify your team to the Olympics. This year, 2026, top 3 teams, on team finals qualify. And then in 2027, the other 9 that did not qualify in 2026 qualifies the Worlds. So what's your thoughts on this crew, right, that's competing? Obviously, we have some big hitters that could be very well in contention that are not in it, right? There's no Asher. Yeah. That's huge. There's no Brody. That's huge. There's no Tondine. That's huge. But with this lineup that we have competing at U.S. Championships, do you think that whatever team makes it has a shot to get top 3 at Worlds and team finals this year to get their berth on the first try? What do you think?
I do. Even without those guys, I think they can be top 3 because the other guys are they're no slackers in this bunch, man. They're all good. Yes, we have some guys that have been to the Olympics already that aren't going to be there. That could probably help us, but they're out for certain reasons right now. And so, kind of like I said earlier, man, everybody's part of the process. If these guys, this is their moment to do that. Help us secure it so we can focus on stacking the best team at Olympics, and we don't have to worry about how we're going to get there. I think they can be a top 3 and guarantee that qualification in. Yes.
All right. And last thing, just so we can hit it off, who are your favorites to win the all-around? And ask you one more time, because I'm going to give you an opportunity for the Palmores battle. Who do you got?
Tied, all 3. Hey, I got to stick with Brandon, man. Like,
okay.
I love Patty, and I really hope he gets that moment that you kind of described. But I'm just going to go for the underest dog of them all, which they're all goats on this event, But I'm just going to root for Brandon, man. Let's do it. Go Island I.
All right. And then the all-around, who you got?
Fred, dude. Fred's going to do it. It's going to be entertaining. He's going to put on a show, and I don't see him messing up. I think he's going to, hit every event, every day.
All right. And I got Patty. Like I said, I think Patty is going to reign supreme, man. I think he's been gunning for this. I think Stephen not competing in a little while with some pressure. We'll see, but I feel like Patty's ready to go. And then for the all-around top 3, man. Top 3. I think my top 4. I think Danila's going to be in there. Shane, Yule.
Yeah, I definitely would say that's a great chance for 4. Danila might be the pick. Like, Is he going to be outside that a little bit? But he certainly has a chance to do that. But I think I would say Fred and then Shane and Yule. It's going to be tough right there for second and third, I would say.
But I'll say this. If anyone falters, Yule can creep in there. Like I said, I think Yule's in a good position to get second. And Shane, because it's going to be neck and neck. But if Fred falters, Yule and Shane can take it. And what a story that would be, right?
No doubt. That'd be a big story for sure. And I think it's going to come down to that. Who's the most consistent? I just hope everybody's consistent. And if everybody is, I think it's going to be Fred.
All right. All right. Well, everybody, this was a great show. The U.S. Championships preview. It's the jump off. You can definitely follow Justin and I. We're going to try to get back on here maybe after a few days of competition and kind of give you our reaction to what's going on. So stay tuned. But I'm excited, and this is going to be the best one yet. Justin, thanks for coming on.
Always. Thank you, brother. Anytime, man.
And I'm Mubarak. Until next time, Gymnasticsville. We'll see y'all next time.
Later.